up, Taichung Tzu Chi volunteers are promoting the concept of filial piety and vegetarianism. We take a look at how doctors of the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital safeguard the health of local residents over the years. Welcome to Dara Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Over the past weekend in Taiwan, to continue to promote the auspicious 7 lunar month as a month of gratitude and filial piety, the sign language musical of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents was held at the Qingxui Hall in Taichung. Many in the audience were inspired to repent for their past behavior and also fulfill their filial duties.
From the moment a child is born, parents relish in the joy of having a new member to the family, but at the same time always worry for their child. Regardless of how rebellious kids may be, parents never give up on them. And despite growing up to have a family of their own, children will always hold a special place inside their parents' hearts. Here at the sign language musical of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents in Taichung, audience members were moved by what they saw.
I let my parents down because I didn't work hard enough. I know I didn't fulfill my mission.
Tzu Chi volunteer Chen Yiwen from Zhanghua was reminded of her parents and couldn't stop crying, while Mr. Chen's family of 5 were all moved to tears as well.
Before, I was busy working and didn't spend much time with my parents. Sometimes when we miss out on things, it's gone for good. I feel quite regretful.
After watching this show, I began to reflect. I felt that when we don't take our parents' love for granted, we will learn to appreciate it more.
21-year-old Tan Dekai, a German student, stands out in the audience. Having been in Taiwan for over a year, Tan is in his 2nd year studying Buddhism and philosophy.
我也对佛学有兴趣，对，我在德国读哲学。
I'm really interested in Buddhism. I studied philosophy in Germany, and I really like Buddhist ideals, not in a religious way, but in a philosophical way.
The student says he hopes to study Buddhism to help alleviate the suffering of all living beings, and hence is here to watch the musical to gain inspiration. The 2-day event for the auspicious 7th lunar month concluded with the musical rendition of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents. The onstage volunteers who went through countless rehearsals were all happy to participate. Right after the show, volunteers work in teams to pack away props and equipment. And although the show is over, they hope to have inspired every member of the audience to celebrate this month in the right way.
Prior to each of the musical rendition of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude to Parents held at the Qingxui Hall in Taichung, blessing ceremonies were also held, which starred Xu Yafen, a famous Taiwanese opera performer, who put on a performance to encourage residents to get meatless.
The main character of this Taiwanese opera is a doctor, a meat eater who cultivated bad karma. Even when his patient is in need of help, the doctor insists on finishing his bowl of beef and eventually chokes to death. Taiwanese renowned opera performer Xu Yafen and her troupe are here at the Qingxui Hall in Taichung to put on a show to celebrate the 7th lunar month. Through the performance, Tzu Chi volunteers hope to call on residents to adopt a meatless diet and refrain from killing animals.
We should stop eating beef or pork. It's healthier for us. We should not kill animals either.
We should reduce the amount of meat we eat. It is healthier this way.
Repenting and adopting a vegetarian diet helps us cleanse our heart and also find purity within our souls.
The opera successfully inspires audience members, young and old, to reflect on their past behavior and make a change.
I am really moved. It reminded me to be aware of karma and reincarnation.
I thought of my parents because they are both gone. I would like to give them my blessings in this auspicious month.
One participant brought her twin nephews, who are 7 years of age, and explained to them the law of cause and effect.
The kids asked if that was the police officer. I said yes, they are the police of hell. They asked why, and I told them if they commit bad deeds, they will go there too.
We should not commit bad deeds, but good deeds instead.
Audience members find the show held at the Qingzui Hall to be both meaningful and inspirational.
The show not only inspired and touched the hearts of those who like Taiwanese operas, but also many from the general public.
Through today's performance, Taichung residents learned that they too can make a difference to better our society.
In our continuing series on the Pudu Festival, today we take a look at the origin of this long-standing practice. In fact, many of the rituals performed during Pudu have been passed down from the older generations and continue to be practiced as an expression of filial piety. However, the true spirit of filial piety really lies in compassion and extending assistance to relieve the sick and suffering everywhere.
Is it really necessary to go through such lengths to observe the Pudu festival? Or is there a different way to honor this day? On the 1st and 15th of each lunar month, Huang Chunhua and her mother-in-law will go to the traditional market to purchase fresh flowers and fruits as offerings for the gods and their ancestors.
We should honor our ancestors and respect the gods. They guide us on the right path and keep us out of harm.
A tradition passed down for many generations, it is with a sincere and pious heart that this family honors the gods and their ancestors.
Since I was little, I often saw my elders pray to our ancestors with incense sticks. This tradition has been passed down for generations. When I got older, I carried on this family tradition.
Burning incense in the morning and evening, simple offerings of fresh fruits and flowers have come to replace an abundance of enticements. For this family, ancestor worship not only stems from a respect for their ancestors, but is also an extension of their filial duties.
Burning incense to pay our respects serves as a continuous reminder for ourselves. We have to set a good example for our future generations. If we do, they will carry on this tradition.
However, the true spirit of Pudu is not only about filial piety, but encompasses a broader meaning.
In folklore, people were afraid of the deceased spirits. The prominence of Pudu is broader than just filial piety. People have respect for the deceased spirits and want to appease them. But the true spirit of Pudu really lies in extending compassion to the sick and suffering.
Kaohsiung Tzu Chi volunteer Lu Man chooses to fulfill her filial duties by taking her mother-in-law to practice charity.
She's always fully dressed waiting for me.
Each day as she wakes up, 85-year-old senior Wu Su Kuan Liang eagerly awaits her daughter-in-law to pick her up to go to the recycling station together.
I always wait for her to come pick me up.
In the beginning, grandmother Wu Su was less than interested in surrounding herself with mountains of recyclables each day. However, she gradually discovered that her weak limbs have become more robust the more she practices recycling. It was then that she realized her daughter-in-law's well intentions.
I have a wonderful daughter-in-law. She will bathe me and cook for me, and my hand is actually better since doing recycling.
She asked me to help her with rehabilitation exercises every day, but instead I would say, let's go do recycling instead. We can both do it together.
Lu Man says she never burns incense as she believes that being filial to her elders and accompanying them in doing good deeds to accumulate merits is the best way to observe Pudu.
In Taiwan, we bring you heartwarming stories between Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital and patients. Thanks to the help of medical staff, 84-year-old Yang Huaijiang was finally able to breathe on his own. But first, let's meet Wang Guiying, a tourist from China who suffered a leg fracture after a bus accident while in Hualien. Luckily, with the help of doctors and nurses, Wang's leg was saved from amputation.
In May of 2012, Wang Guiying suffered a compound fracture in her leg, and when she arrived at the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital, she was diagnosed for amputation. However, Dr. Wu Kunqi was determined to save her leg and conducted over 10 debridement procedures to aid the healing of the remaining healthy tissues.
At this time, all you can do is only sort out what are the healthy tissues and what are sick tissues.
After 143 days of treatment and 8 surgeries, Wang's leg was finally rebuilt. Not only was her injury given abundant attention, but her spirit was looked after as well. After leaving the hospital, the family continued their affinity with Tzu Chi.
Our family became a part of Tzu Chi and started doing Tzu Chi work. We use our personal experience to encourage those currently suffering to work towards leaving their difficulties behind.
Yang Huaijiang suffers from lung disease and needed to wear a device to help him breathe. However, Dr. Liu Di-su came up with a rehabilitation program, and after 42 days, Yang was finally able to breathe on his own. After the senior left the hospital, he also has the energy to join the medical staff in caring for other patients.
I really want to thank Tzu Chi, and especially Dr. Liu Di-su. My husband's health is now better than before he got sick.
Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital's medical staff looks after each patient like they would family, seizing the opportunity to make memories that last a lifetime.
In 1970, the WHO began promoting the importance of community-oriented primary care and preventative medicine. The main goal of the movement was to spread the message that medical care should in fact start outside of the hospital and in the communities. In Taiwan, the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital has been expanding both its primary and secondary care coverage in communities so as to better protect the health of residents in this area, in which medical resources can be far and few in between.
As technology improves year after year, the range and depth of medical services hospitals can offer has followed in step. Yet, according to the World Health Organization, 2/3 of deaths in the world come from preventable non-communicable diseases. To address this problem, in 1970, the WHO began to advocate community-orientated primary care and focused its attention on the dissemination of preventative medicine.
Preventative medicine is concerned with stopping sickness from occurring in the first place. There are many ways to do this, from health education, teaching good sanitation habits, daily exercise, and so on.
Along these lines, in 1996, Taiwan's national health insurance began offering free health checkups once every 3 years for those between 40 and 64 years of age, and free checkups every year for those 65 and over. But many residents have yet to take advantage of this for one reason or another.
不知道，我知道是60岁，40岁我不知道。
你有去做过没？没，你没去做过。
没用，
因为没有空啊，身体健康就没有感觉到要去做这样。
Obviously, if residents lack the right mindset, preventative medicine has a hard time being effective.
Measures are there to stop the occurrence of cancer. Just as important, however, is secondary prevention, which means getting regular checkups to discover any problems early on.
Therefore, the Hualien Tzu Chi Hospital has been working hard in the area of community care and preventative medicine with anti-smoking and anti-betel nut campaigns, while also increasing the availability of health checks and consultations for the elderly.
We have a high percentage of elderly here, and a large percentage of them live in the countryside, so it is not only inconvenient for them to seek medical care, but they also worried about the costs. Therefore, we are directing our efforts to make sure sickness doesn't occur in the first place.
Also important is the dissimulation of healthy habits so children can grow up treating their bodies right from the start.
最主要的原因是什么？对，所以呢，这些零食它产生的酸比较多，它造成蛀牙的机会就会比较高哦。
山区的小学全部进去。
We will travel to elementary schools in the more rural areas and teach the children good health habits, whether it is how to take care of their teeth or how to eat healthy. We also emphasize the dangers of smoking and betel nut, telling them that it can lead to cancer.
With more attention to preventative medicine and healthy living habits, more Taiwanese are leading healthier and happier lifestyles.
痛风事实上它已经是用一个警讯在告诉我们的乡亲说，你酒不能再喝。
Showing that medical care should not start in the hospital but at home with us all.
In New Taipei City, Taiwan, a forest in Linkou is slated to be cut down for an athletes' village for the 2017 Summer University 8 to be held in Taipei. After the games are over, the village will then be reconstructed as public housing. However, the question is there perhaps a better way to live in harmony with trees which does not involve replanting or cutting them down?
Walking into the Linkou Forestry Park in New Taipei City, Taiwan, is like walking into a treasure mountain where creatures are treated like gems.
These marks are left when a rhinoceros beetle drinks the tree sap. This forest is actually a natural ecological classroom. There's no need for any man-made added effects.
Amidst the concrete jungle of the city, this natural forest gives city dwellers a chance to enjoy Mother Nature. It's because of this natural habitat that Zheng Meihui moved from the city to Linkou.
There are a lot of trees here in Linkou. Taipei City has spent a lot of time and energy in constructing Da'an Park. Meanwhile, here in Linkou, they are looking to destroy this natural ecological habitat. It's really heartbreaking.
This field of trees is a gift from nature for local residents. However, the Taipei City government plans to clear them away to build an athletes' village for the 2017 Summer Universiade. After the 14 days of use by athletes, the area is then slated to be turned into housing.
Our economy has improved. We can see many new buildings in this area.
Zhang Wenchong, a resident of Linkou for 17 years now, has witnessed the gradual imbalance of trees and buildings.
These trees are all older than me and have lived here longer than I. However, now we are saying to them, it is you who has to leave. It's unnecessary for them to die to satisfy our needs.
Seeing Linkou's natural resources about to be destroyed, local youths have band together to fight to save the park, hoping the government can realize the infinite value of keeping these trees.
If we left this forest continue to flourish naturally, it will continue to grow as a complete ecosystem. No matter how they try to rebuild, they will never be able to replace or restore this area to its original condition.
However, when building, is clearing away trees an absolute necessity? Liu Jie, a frequent visitor to libraries, especially likes to visit this one in Wanhua, Taipei City, as the solar library and energy-optimized house is vastly different than other libraries.
When I get tired, I'll take my glasses off to look at the trees, listen to the birds and the insects chirp. This area is very wonderful. I like it very much. It's rare to see trees inside a library.
The trees that surround the building help to provide shade against the sun. When the architecture design team submitted their blueprint for construction, they stood firm on keeping all the trees.
Trees were incorporated into the stairs. We saved the trees because we want our visitors to interact with the plant life. Like when you climb the stairs and the tree is there, you have a chance to talk to it. It's actually very nice.
By incorporating trees as part of the structure, this helps to add color and life to the building.
We wanted to show that you don't need to shut nature outside your door. Designs can incorporate the trees outside, and then that's really maximizing the surrounding resources. In this way, your building can be considered a success.
Trees, building, and people living in harmony with one another is the way urban renewal developments should be carried out.
In 2008, Cyclone Nargis devastated many parts of Myanmar and affected the lives of countless people. Seeing the suffering of local residents, Master Zheng Yen immediately mobilized Tzu Chi volunteers from Thailand, Malaysia, and Taiwan to conduct international relief work. In our next report, we join Malaysia Tzu Chi volunteers as they conduct international relief work to help the needy. The South Asian tsunami, a painful experience for many. December 26, 2004, the South Asian tsunami devastated many countries in Southeast Asia, including Malaysia's Penang and Kedah.
I have been looking for my children since this morning and I still can't find them. They are afraid of the dark.
We were about to have a meal when the tsunami hit, and all of a sudden, everything was washed away, including my children. Please ask no more. I don't want to talk about it.
Ng Mun King and his wife Tan Po Ju lost 6 family members in the tsunami, including their 3 children. Back then, it was Tzu Chi volunteers' love and care that helped them walk through that dark time. In 2011, the two arrived in Taiwan and became full-fledged Tzu Chi volunteers. In the aftermath of the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami, Malaysia Tzu Chi chapter started international relief work, and thus the volunteers were much more prepared when another disaster struck. In May 2, 2008, Cyclone Nargis swept through Myanmar and destroyed many parts of the country. Despite the devastation caused by the disaster, local residents had no recourse for help until the Tzu Chi Foundation started its relief work in the country.
这一次的缅甸救灾，动员最多的人，那最大的力量、稳定力量、带动力量、爱的传承力量等等啊。 大部分都是在马来西亚，他们共同那一份的和心和气、互爱协力他们就是这样的轮流那种的长期守护缅甸，那种长期付出、用心用爱呢，守在当地。
In 2013, the Mayangong No. 1 High School and Along No. 4 Basic High School, which were rebuilt by Tzu Chi, were returned to the local government in Myanmar. Thanks to the help of Tzu Chi volunteers, the lives of these children have changed for the better. In the years to come, the volunteers promise to continue safeguarding the lives of those in greater need with their love and care. We go to the United States at the end of the show to help needy students get ready for the upcoming semester. Volunteers from the Tzu Chi Arlington Liaison Office arrived at a school in Tarrant County, Texas with new uniforms. To reciprocate Tzu Chi's kindness, many parents happily took the bamboo coin banks home. We will leave you with these images. Thank you for watching Dai Headlines. Goodbye.